Hello, Captains. It's me, TONIK TZW. Lots of people seem to like the Gator game that I played the other day. What was it? Ernie's Gator. This one's been sat on the PlayStation for a long while, meaning to edit it and upload it because it's a solid base XP score there. And it's a very destroyer-heavy game, as you can see. There are 10 destroyers in this match, 5 on red, 5 on blue. There's a few cruisers and a couple of battleships. You know me, I like to play the caps, and spawning on B cap on this map is a difficult one, especially if there's radar in the game, especially if there is a long range sonar on a destroyer in the game as well. But sometimes, because this cap is so difficult to play, sometimes it becomes very easy to play because nobody wants to go near it. You kind of get yourself closed in. But a little tip about this map is if you have got a long range sonar and you're a stealthy destroyer and can get in on this cap, you can use the islands on the left and right side of this cap as we're looking at it now, and you can put that sonar on, and all the ships that like to hide behind the islands at the back, you can light those up with your sonar and keep them spotted for your team while you are completely protected yourself. It is a little trick that I've used in the past, and it's worked very effectively. So I'll leave that one with you to try out in your own time. But we're being very cautious on the approach to this cap. We're looking to see if it's going to turn red. But you can see that our twist and track / perceptive indicator, I can't remember which one I'm using, but they both give the same effect of giving us the arc to the nearest target. That is pointing off to the right. And we can see there's 2 destroyers across there. There's some torpedoes coming through against us. There's another set there. We were just going to get our bow in towards the gap on the bottom of that island there, because that's obviously where these torpedoes have come from. And there's another destroyer out there, a Tashkent 39, a 6-year player. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again, that the amount of time you spend in the game, for a lot of people, they don't actually improve, they don't learn how to play this game properly. And this Tashkent 39 is one of those 6-year players who's going to learn the hard way. The very hard way, because we have flipped B cap here. We've got an early lead. The guys are already on C cap. That looks like the weak flank, and it looks like the destroyers have come across this side of the map heavy-handed to try and take us on. But my sonar is running, and that Tashkent 39 is caught in that sonar. We're going to put our torpedoes across there. We're going to run our smoke screen. We've got this guy flat broadside, and we get spotted momentarily there. But, you know, this guy is bang to rights. 6 years playing to earn that ship. Not the first ship out of the game. He's second. Here's his torpedoes coming. I mean, surely you must have known that I was running my sonar because you were detected. I'm definitely going to get out of the way of those. There's another set coming in from the other side, but we're just going to back out. Now, there is going to be a little bit of swearing on here from that destroyer that pushed through, because he's going to get himself killed by the Leviathan, and he's going to come up and say, "What the hell had me spotted?" If he had any kind of situational awareness, he would have realized that the Akazuki was heading straight for him. He is going to die very shortly. It's the Anshan there. But we are going to move. We're going to reposition. I think the guys have got control of this side across here, because I think that Charles Hughes is going to be the next one to disappear. So 10 destroyers enter the game. We're barely, 4 minutes into the game, and there are already 3 destroyers gone. And I think that Charles Hughes is going to be the next one. No, he torpedoes our Cheshire, but did our Cheshire get on him as well? We're going to spam a rack of torpedoes across there towards the Leviathan, and just for a little bit of extra XP and just to draw his attention away, we're going to pop a shot across the top there, and we're going to get a couple of cap resets and a fire. So using the game mechanics here to our advantage. Now this Leon here, he's sat hiding behind a rock where he can't really fire at anything. He can't see anything at the moment, but when he sails out from behind that rock, he is going to be flat broadside in front of the Leviathan and the Colorado. Now I'm looking to see what I can do here. We missed the torpedoes, but we can get shots across the top there. We are spotted again, so there's something out here that has got us spotted. We get another, well, we get a triple cap reset there, and we get another fire. So given that we've just had a fire, and he's likely damage controlled that one, there we go. It's the Aviaire that was obviously spotting us. He's not going to get a shot on us, but this Leon is just lining himself up to be killed here. But I think the Aviaire must have spotted those torpedoes coming, so the Leviathan is turning out. And I'm thinking, okay, we've potentially got 2 destroyers on that cap. We've got 2 battleships on that cap. We are ships down here now, so blue team aren't playing very effectively. And we're down on points. They still haven't taken C cap. There's 1 ship on it by the looks of it, and everybody else is sort of sailing around the outside. Now here's a tip for you if you're going to play destroyers, is that in a game of domination that caps are king, and it is very difficult to get you spotted. Now the guy that was on the cap was on there solo. If that other destroyer had gone in for that cap, it would have turned just that little bit quicker. But this is where I'm going to make my mistake, because I don't have smoke available. The Aviaire has a rolling smoke, and although he's on the cap, we are going to fire our guns. We're going to pick up another, I think that's another triple cap reset there. But we are hard spotted by something, so we back up, we put our torpedoes out. I don't expect that he's going to stay in that smoke screen, but we are going to stop shooting so that we can go dark, and we're actually going to move away from this capture point because there is another destroyer coming in behind us. Now you might hear that I'm still a bit full of whatever lurgy it is that's been hampering me this week. I've been quite unwell for a few days. I've been trying to get lots of rest, lots of fluid. We landed a torpedo on something there. I don't know what it was, but something picked up a torpedo, so that's good for me. And it looked like it did get a flood, which was immediately damage controlled. It must have been that destroyer there that just got taken out, and we are pushing round on this Akatsuki. I believe the Aviaire is still inside that capture point as well. But seeing how close we are to the Akatsuki, we're going to run our sonar, and we are going to keep him lit up, and we are going to keep pushing this guy because we're a better gunboat than he is, and I'm sure that we can take him down. But we've got to try and keep him held on this sonar. We'll get spotted as we come past here, that's obvious because of how close we are to him, but we get a good chunk of his health. He takes another hit off somebody else. We're going to fire again. We're quite safe from torpedoes. We use the island there to drop detection, and then we're going to turn into the cap. There is a ship on this cap as well, but now it's gone. But I'm not going to sit and waste a minute on this cap and let this destroyer get away. He's out of sonar range, but I'm quite certain that with our engine boost we can keep him in detectability range, and we can take this guy down and get rid of red team's last destroyer. Should we try another salvo and take him down this time? There we go. Now I'm very aware that there's 2 battleships out there in front of me, so we're going to slam the engines into reverse. We're going to pop the smoke. That's going to save us from a shot there from the Leviathan, and give this guy his due. He does shoot at destroyers, and he is very effective at shooting destroyers. So we've managed to retain control of B cap, which is the difficult one to take. So these battleships have a choice. They can either try to kill us all, or they can put themselves into the very precarious position of pushing into B cap when we have 2 destroyers and 2 battleships left. And that, as I said, that would put them in a very difficult position where they haven't really got room to maneuver, and they they would be ripe for picking off by destroyers with torpedoes. But I'm not going to hang around. We're not going to chase those guys down. I don't know which battleship it is right at the back of the map there, but I was looking at this video, watching it back, and the other destroyer with me is a torpedo boat, and he's going to miss out on a beautiful opportunity, because what we should have done here, or perhaps what he should have done, given how many torpedoes he has and how quickly they reload in comparison to mine, is he should have gone to the north of B cap, and then we would have had a destroyer crossfire on these two battleships. They've played very smart so far. At this time, I'm very wary that this Leviathan will shoot at destroyers when spotted. The Colorado doesn't seem to be as effective, but with the Leviathan coming down this way, I'm close to getting detected. We've got 5.3 concealment here, and although I've lost sight of him, I am going to put my torpedoes across the end of the island there. And we're going to put another spread there, because I'm thinking he's going to try and come off this bottom end of the capture point and flank round and try and get a crossfire on us. The other destroyer is going to come around to our rear, but those torpedoes are running. You'll see I've turned out from the cap because I want my detection ring to be past that island, so if he does come round either side, he isn't going to spot me. So using my brain about how I can stay concealed and how best to avoid getting detected by this battleship. Now, he only took the one torpedo there. He has got a flood on him. It is ticking, and we now have these guys spotted, hard spotted. There's no way they can get away from it now. He saw where the torpedoes come from. He knew which direction I was heading in, and now he's got to make a decision on what he's going to do. We've got, what's that, 700, 800 meters to play with here, and we want to try and stop red team earning points. So we're going to creep in ever so slowly, right on the limit of detectability here. Look, 5.7, 5.6 is that, and we've got 5.3, and we're going to slow down to a stop, let him sail away from us, and then we are going to creep into the cap behind him as he heads away. Now, he is going outside of my torpedo range, but as I said, that other destroyer behind me, if he'd have gone to the north here, I think those two guys would have been two very easy kills for him. 3 ships plays 2. It seems like this is an unlosable match, doesn't it? You'd think this is easy, you sat on the cap, and I thought it might be a little bit easy too. I'm looking at where the Leviathan's guns are pointed. We've lost, let's say, about 35–40% of our health. My gun sight is going nuts, and I decide that we'll have a pop and see if we can get another fire on this Leviathan to try and tick up a little bit more damage. I think he's going to continue that turn and put my torpedoes out there. I should have waited, but like I said, this guy knows how to shoot at destroyers, and so I lose another 4,000 hit points there. He is on fire, he is burning, and now I've got to think about that Colorado. Now, my torpedoes are going to fail because he's turned into the island, but we pick up a high caliber. Now, I do say often that damage is not everything in this game. It isn't the sign that you have played an awesome game, because this match is an example where there are 5 destroyers per team. The amount of damage that you can actually do is very low, compared to, let's say, a match that has 5 or 6 battleships in it. Now, I'm playing on the limit of my gun range here, but you'll have noticed that while I went dark, the other destroyer kept shooting at that Leviathan, and he paid with his ship. So I've been smart, and we've sailed out of our detectability range, but we are going to turn round because the clock is closing down. We are well into the final minute. We don't need to do anything else to win. There is the potential that we could lose our last battleship, because he is very low health over there behind the islands, and I can imagine that he doesn't want to come out, but he's going to get a shot onto the Leviathan, misses everything, I think, and I'm thinking, can I close in and finish him off in the closing stages? And I'm like, maybe not, because if the Colorado gets a shot on our battleship and the Leviathan takes a shot at me, we have the potential of losing this game, and why would we throw away a victory? Now it would be great to close them down and get a shot on for a final cap reset, but the clock finished the match for us. It is game over, 79,000 damage, only 2 kills, 1 kill assist, high caliber and a dev strike. We got quite a healthy total of cap resets there, and if there's a sign of a good game, it's your base XP score, 3247 for me, and that's pretty much 1200 XP above second place with the Leon. That's quite a substantial gap between first and second, and 3200 on a tier 5 game. That has come from playing the caps, it's come from hitting the destroyers, and it's come from resetting those caps. So if you want high XP games, that's an example of how you can do it. So if you enjoyed that one, please do smash that like button, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel, consider taking out a membership or hitting the super thanks or hype in the video, and as always, until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.